on the farm. So now on the road for the first time this season. It's the first of 2 matches at Robb Gymnasium this weekend. Number 8 Stanford, number 14 UC Santa Barbara. We are underway. It's a diving stab from court. Backdoor Bianchi goes yellow light swing. Popped up high, now a chance for Rotman, the Santa Barbara native, stifled by court again as the rover. High hands caught by Bianchi. It's Walmer who tracks back to it to set up Bianchi. Another tap over the tape, and it looks like Bianchi might have caught the tape himself. The point will go to the Cardinal to open things up here.
And Bianchi in the back row on that play, so he has to take off from behind the 10-foot line. And he was in front and caught the net on the attack. And here's Nathan Litsky, the 5th-year setter out of Austin.
Litsky nearly had the ace. Instead, it makes its way over free. Bianchi into the 3-man wall. Walmer switches pace, and it's Bruining who gets in on the action early.
And right away, Bruning looking more in system than he has this season. And that connection between him and Walmer, that has to be getting better game after game.
Bruining, a member of the men's U21 national team, won 2 gold medals with the boys junior national team back in 2021 and 2022. He was a big get for UC Santa Barbara, towers at 6'10", like a giraffe. Looking backdoor for Rotman, nowhere to go with an overpass here. The joust won by the Cardinal, but UCSB gets the point.
And that's going to be called over on 14 Moses Wagner. Take another look here. That ball has to be completely over the plane of the net, and that is the ruling. So the Gauchos up by 1 here early.
Walmer on the end line, a 2-time national champion during his 2 seasons with University of Hawaii in 2021 and 22. That's an overpass.
And that's going to be a back row attack on Litsky. He jumped, and that ball went over on his contact. So that's going to be a back row attack as he's setting from the back row right now.
Litsky out of Los Angeles, a product of Brentwood High School and an MPSF. You have Austin. I have Los Angeles. An MPSF Freshman of the Year candidate back in 2021. He was an MPSF All-Freshman team selection, and he leads this team.
And here's Will Rotman out of Santa Barbara High. He holds the career most kills from that high school, and that's saying something. One of the best players in our sport, Karch Karai, also from Santa Barbara High. So Will Rotman taking one up on the multi-gold medalist there.
Here's Bruining. Caught high hands, that was Wagner on the chance. Now it's Arroyo.
And again, that connection now with Arroyo and Walmer is looking smoother than it has all year, and that's what's going to happen when these freshmen get minutes. The more they're playing, the smoother they're going to feel.
That spun down. What a hard right-handed cut from Rotman on the back row attack.
And he plays with so much power. Watch his big approach and then unloads from the back row. That's Will Rotman.
Now Nathaniel Gates with it. Walmer flicks it back to the Bick. Caught by Ethan Hill to keep it with the Gauchos. Glenn pops it high. Court hangs, bangs, can't put it down. To the back corner and long. Gauchos will take it.
And an impressive rally on both sides. Ethan Hill really standing out in that rally on the defensive side of things. He's playing that middle blocker position and putting up a great read block. Now
Arroyo. Arroyo nearly spun it to the back line, very close, and the entire roster on the floor for the Gauchos is calling for a replay review.
So Rick McLaughlin will challenge that play.
McLaughlin, formerly the men's volleyball coach at LMU, was named the head coach with UC Santa Barbara back in 2008. A two-time AVCA Coach of the Year. On the other side of the floor today, John Costi, who has won national championship with this Cardinal team back in 2010.
And it was the transformation that put John Costi in the cards for being one of the best coaches around. He took the team from a 3-25 season in 2007 to a national champion team in 2010. So within 3 years, he calls it taking them from the worst to first.
The truest worst to first that you'll see basically at any level. He made a name for himself not only on the farm but over the entire volleyball landscape. And now in his 18th season with the Cardinal, continues to produce a real solid group. It looks like that point was down in front of the end line. And UC Santa Barbara maintains possession. Real quick, why don't we look over our officiating crew after the first challenge today. Shannon Macias, Tom Ulibarri. Ulibarri, the down referee that made that challenge call. And along the lines, it's Jeff First and Mark Arthur. Kathy Blaze is your scorer today.
So after the ace, Arroyo goes for a more aggressive serve, misses that one long.
Now Moses Wagner with the ball in hand. 6'6", a sophomore who was born in Palo Alto. And that's pushed just a bit to the outside.
And that serve's coming in fast, but good communication on the back line for the Gauchos. Jaden Glenn in that libero position. And we've seen it alternate between him and Joe Wallace so far this season. Both of them very solid in defense and serve reception.
Bianchi spins it outside. Well, you mentioned Jaden Glenn, a former CIF champion during his time in high school with Corona Del Mar High School. And we talk about the dynamics of a small community, a small volleyball community. So many of these players went to school together in high school and then move on to play either for or against each other in college.
And Nathan Litsky will be credited with that kill, but credit there to the tough serve out of Kevin Lamp, number 10. He's a fifth year out of Illinois. 6'6" tall.
An all MPSF second team selection last season with another service error here. It'll be the third service error of the day for Stanford. UC Santa Barbara with 3 as well.
And Ben Court, the redshirt sophomore out of Hermosa Beach, and he's taken on more of a leadership role this year as a returner to the starting line.
Court shined as a serving specialist, cold off the bench last year, now getting many starts early on in the season. Rotman over, high hands and down.
And that's a great tempo set out to Rotman. He catches the block, still being formed, and tools high hands.
Rotman led the entire NCAA in total kills back in 2022. Was the 6th most in program history. Bruin and Cox back, nowhere to go. It's Litsky who teams up with Gates.
And another look at this, Bruning a little slow on his attack, and that block is waiting.
That ball a little bit off the net. An easy read for Stanford. Ethan Hill. Bruining in search of redemption. A bit long, can't find the fingertips.
And Bruning trying to speed up his arm on that one, misses long, but good job from the Cardinal on putting pressure on Bruning after a mistake. They serve him that ball, they make him work hard to get into position to hit.
And not to mention, Bruning also has the most reception errors on this team through 3 matches. So that's the guy that you want to attack on the serve as well. That'll end a 3-0 scoring run for Stanford. UC Santa Barbara goes back on top.
And that's the first kill of the night for Jess Bianchi, 6 attempts. And here's Sam Meister, the other Santa Barbara native, so also a product of Santa Barbara High.
Nice job by Gates to punch it over the tape. Litsky back at the end line. And he'll deliver another ace.
And like you mentioned, Max, it's a good scouting report and execution when you see a team targeting the weakest player in serve reception, and Stanford's doing that well.
Well, Litsky earns his 4th ace of the season. It's the first ace for the Cardinal today. Make it 2 in a row for Nathan Litsky.
And he's in for the Cardinal with the most kills out of any player on the floor, and it's only 2, but he's hitting 400, so 2 kills on 5 attempts. Most other players not hitting in the positive right now, so low efficiency for both teams. Stanford hitting at .077, and the Gauchos hitting at 0 right now.
Well, Litsky with the ball in hand has lit up the stat sheet as well with 3 assists, 2 aces, 3 digs, all of which team high. Targeting court on the serve receive, and they go to Aruya again. It feels like he's in for a big showing tonight.
Aruya is my player to watch for tonight. I think he has an opportunity to compete with the highest level teams that the Gauchos are going to see, and he's going to be a key factor. If they can get him involved, the Gauchos are going to keep their offense very unpredictable.
Aruya got a piece of it, popped up high from Glenn, backdoor, it's Bianchi. He'll get one to go.
And a full team effort there, a great touch by Aruya. It was late, but it slowed down the ball just enough for Glenn to pop it up.
Walmer back to the end line here. 3 aces on the season for the starting center for the Gauchos. He laces one down the line. It makes its way over free. Walmer tracks back to his right spot on the floor, and we'll see a wrench out wide from Bianchi.
And that's such a smart swing from Bianchi, a little bit off the net, and he sees hands and tools off for the kill.
And the Gauchos, in the midst of a 3-0 scoring run, have regathered the lead after momentarily relinquishing it to the Cardinal. Back to even we go.
And that's the 4th service error for the Gauchos, the Cardinal with 3, so pretty close on service errors between the two teams.
Bruining got low for the serve receive. He gets it back, and it's played to the middle. Bruining caught up high, but nobody will get to that ball.
And it started with a tough serve from Will Rotman, the 5th year out of Santa Barbara.
Rotman looking to force him out of system again. He spins it to Glenn the libero. Bruining with a rainbow serve from Jack Walmer. That's down right to the corner. It's a smooth look from Moses Wagner.
And that is a huge first kill for Wagner. Straight in the angle pocket, and no one is there for it. If he can do that more, it's going to be very successful.
Wagner played in just 5 matches last season. Back in high school in 2022 as a senior, he was an AVCA All-American. Bianchi targets the back row, can't get it down. It's Wagner who steps into high hands. Another back row attack from Court, straight through the pocket.
And Court doing a good job at staying available throughout the long rallies. What a great dig, though, from Will Rotman for Stanford. And it's showing that he's spent his summers on the beach. He qualified for the AVP in 2022 with local player Shane Cervantes. And he likes that balance, playing beach in the summers, than getting back to indoor during the school season.
Yeah, who wouldn't like that balance? It sounds like he's living the dream. That was Rotman on the serve, receive, right to the edge. It'll kiss the line.
And there's Nathaniel Gates. So he's hitting 1,000, 2 kills on 2 attempts.
So it's Theron Briett who checks in. Briett on the serve into the net. One of the toughest things to do in volleyball, coming cold off the bench and try and lace one over. Luke Turner, wearing the libero jersey in white for the Cardinal, comes back onto the floor.
And here's Dominic Lang. He's a serving specialist as well and has done a great job so far this season at coming in off the bench and making an aggressive serve. That one off the tape.
Miscommunication as it was Collins and Lang who ran into each other. Point goes to the Cardinal, up 17-15.
And number 7 for the Cardinal, Teo Snooey, checks in. He's an opposite hitter sophomore out of Berkeley, California. Was an all-MPSF freshman team member in 2023.
And not to mention an off-the-block freshman All-American as well last year. Sam Collins on the serve receive, back to Bianchi who hangs in the air, met by 2 Cardinal who send it back where it came from. That was Ethan Hill and Kevin Lamp.
And Ethan Hill continues to make the reads on the block, that time delaying, seeing the shot coming, and then pushing it back for the block.
All 3 players look to levitate on that one. Cardinal up by 3, make it 2 as the Gauchos take possession back. Bianchi will head to the service line.
And Jess Bianchi coming off the Big West Offensive Player of the Week after a 21 kill and 30 kill performance in the A6 Invitational. And he set his career high against George Mason with those 30 kills.
And Bianchi comes into tonight leading the entire nation in kills per set. Tough serve to handle. And Kevin Lamp climbs the ladder but can't push it down fair. And
that's a huge point for the Gauchos. The Cardinal have had the momentum later on in this first set, and now within 1.
You can see Bianchi, who looks to be the guy this season through 3 matches. He's the highest volume attacker for the Gauchos. And Bianchi with the ace, unable to be handled by Will Rotman. We're even at 18.
And that's tough to do, get Will Rotman out of system. That's going to force John Costi to take a timeout as we're all tied up here in Rob Gym, 18-18.
Costi at the heart of 4 conference championships with the Cardinal. Let's talk.
Jess Bianchi, who just tied it up after the Gauchos were trailing with a kill and an ace.
Set up at 18 apiece. It's a low efficiency matchup so far. Stanford hitting 200, UC Santa Barbara right below 150. Each team wants to make the most of their chances. Bianchi, striped long.
So a successful timeout for John Costi. And here's Kevin Lamp at the service line for the Cardinal.
Handled by Glenn on the serve receive, back over to court on a yellow light touch, and it's pushed right back. A nice play by Nathan Litsky. The setter gets up big to send it back where it came from.
And again, the Stanford block doing a great job at identifying when the hitters are coming in slow to tip, and they're delaying their block and swatting it back.
Tough serve to handle as Bianchi tracks it down, and Collins has to make it over free. And it's another kill for Will Rotman.
And Will Rotman with the throwdown. That
See Santa Barbara early on, first set of action. Plenty of time in this one. But Kevin Lamp has applied pressure from the service stripe. He's with the ball again here. Lamp just a touch too long, and you see Santa Barbara with a well-timed timeout and a much-needed side out.
and a very close miss. Good eye from the Gaucho passing line.
Collins comes on out, Bruining back in, so you have size up front with Court on the end line. Court with 18 aces last season, spins it back to Lamp. Did they catch hands? No fingertips there, and the Gauchos pull back within one.
And another break for the Gauchos. Solid serve from Ben Court.
Handled by Luke Turner on the serve receive, Rotman, and it's Court as the rover. Court gets it back into the three-man wall. He's denied.
And a tough position there. Look where Jack Walmer is on the court. It's showing that he's going to set Court from miles away, and that gives the Cardinal time to get a three-person block up in front of him.
It's Ryan Duras in for the first time today for the Cardinal. The sophomore out of Gilroy, California, right over the top of the tape, targeting Bruining. Cardinal bench calling for the double contact. How about a solo block from Litsky?
And Litsky taking things into his own hands. Stanford wanted a double contact call, but instead he gets a stuff block on that overpass.
Ball don't lie, Litsky does it himself. Duras and the Cardinal 2 points away from taking the first, as Bruining lets that one slide a tip too long. Aria checks back in for the Gauchos. He's been efficient today.
And here's Sam Meister. No kills on the night yet.
Meister on the service error, and it's set point for the Cardinal.
And Litsky, the 6'6" setter, he has been phenomenal on the assist and block side tonight.
Aria popped back over. Here come the Gauchos. Out of system, Glenn to Bianchi. Can't find the seam. They'll try it to the other pin. Bruining over high hands. Litsky looks for Rotman, who fires home a shot down. And it's the Cardinal up 1-0 over UC Santa Barbara.
Last year competing.
No doubt the chemistry is there, but that window, that championship window is closing for this group specifically. This might be the last year where they're highly competitive at the best level, and the Cardinal playing in the MPSF, you know, you have to imagine playing against UCLA, playing against BYU, that prepares them for what a postseason run could look like. That UCLA team coming off the championship this last season under Coach John Spera, but the Cardinal knocked off BYU in the MPSF championship semifinal, had a win over USC in the MPSF championship first round. This team plays against some of the best in the country, and of course with UC Santa Barbara, we talk about the Big West and how perennially Hawaii, Long Beach, and this year UC Irvine are all some of the best in the country. A little misdirection from Litsky there, as it's Bianchi who has to push it over on a yellow light swing with the left. Another attack to the back row. That time it's Moses Wagner.
And no one up for the Gaucho block, so Wagner taking advantage, putting one down to the floor. And that's just his second kill of the night. Before that, hitting in the negative.
Litsky targeting Bruining on the serve. Jaden Glenn there on the second opportunity. Overpass joust won by the Gauchos.
And 4 contacts will be called. And here's a misconnection there out of the middle. That set a little too high, but Jaden Glenn able to save it. And he'll go for a jump top spin serve.
Rotman caught high hands as Aruya tracks it down. It'll be bumped over, free from Walmer. Kept in system on a low set. It's Gates who puts it away.
And Gates now 3 for 3, so high efficiency out of that middle blocker.
The Gauchos hit even in that first set at 0. Stanford right around the 200 mark, but already in the second set, nearing 500 on their efficiency.
And a beautiful set from Will Rotman, but Moses Wagner unable to get that ball over.
He got a little over the top of that ball, fell short on it, which brings back Bianchi to the service line. Bianchi had one of 2 aces for the Gauchos in the first set. Laced up, targeting Rotman on the back line. Caught hands, and it's pushed down from Lamp.
And credit to Litsky on that set. You watch him change the tempo up, and it keeps the Gauchos guessing on their block timing.
Gates, the 6'8" fifth year. He'll curl one over, played to the middle. And it looks like that was Meister on the kill, Katie?
The first kill of the night for Meister, and I love that set from Walmer, getting the middle block involved. Another look here, a great pickup from Glenn, and then the quick set to Meister.
Meister last year, over 11 matches prior to a season-ending injury, was just a little bit shy of a block per set. Redshirt sophomore who will play a key role in the Gaucho rotation for years to come. Straight through the seam, Bianchi couldn't handle the slice down the line.
And that's a smooth look for Lamp. He's coming in cross court and just takes pace off, goes crossbody line.
Feels like Kevin Lamp is all over the place so far today with 3 kills. Bruining got low for it. Cardinal play it middle, and it's Ethan Hill.
So a bit of a scramble that entire play on the Gaucho side. Started off with a tough serve from Wagner. Let's see if Wagner targets Bruining again on this serve. He's looking to go straight down the line, and that time Glenn controlling.
Bruining. He played distractor as Bianchi from that back row attack. And we've noticed so much this season, Bianchi, how he jumps from the back row, but he gets so much momentum, right? That he nearly ends right near the net. That's an overpass as Bruining tries to put it away. Heads up play from Litsky, kept in system. Time Bianchi able to gather. Bruining through the cut. Bianchi, 2 in a row.
And Walmer doing such a nice job at spreading the ball back to Bianchi, even when the set is on the far left side of the court. And Bianchi wanted that set, and he gets the point for the Gauchos.
Meister kissed on the tape. It's Litsky kept in system. Punched over the top from Walmer. Here come the Cardinal. Wagner able to beat the block there, and it looks like Coach Rick McLaughlin wants an explanation from down ref Tom Ulibarri.
And looks like no challenge will be made as the Gauchos trail by 1 after losing the first set, 25-21.
Number 8, Stanford in control. Just caught the line.
And if you're here in Rob Gym, you could hear you being called by the Gaucho passing line. So no one calling mine. Both players thinking it was the other ones.
That speaks on the youth of this team and how little they've played together compared to the Cardinal, with so many players who have been together for years. 3 starters are 5th years for this Cardinal team.
And Jack Walmer, one of the all-tournament team selections from the A6 Invitational.
Rotman bumps it wide to Wagner, well over the top of the block and out.
And that set drifted past the 10-foot line, kind of hooked back on Wagner, so a tough swing to make. And that's a big point for the Gauchos to tie it up as they've trailed this entire second set.
A bit wide, no hands. The Gauchos remain in possession with the lead here in the second.
And that's the first hitting error for Ethan Hill.
Hill was a perfect 3 for 3 prior to that, but the Gauchos in the midst of a 3-0 scoring run with Walmer at the end line. Walmer spins it, tough place to play for Rotman, who gets it back for the Cardinal, and a double contact by Kevin Lamp.
So on the overpass, that ball getting called for the double contact. Another look here as Kevin Lamp decides not to hit the ball, sets it over.
Rotman just a bit long.
And Rotman looking for hands in that middle blocking position, and that's one of the starting roles that's going to be the game changer for the Gauchos. If they can get their middles involved, they're going to be able to compete with higher level teams.
And this Stanford team is a higher level squad. Last year they won their first 7 matches of the season en route to a 15-13 overall record, 6-6 in MPSF play. They made it to the MPSF championship final and lost to the eventual national champion in UCLA. Wins against number 12 USC and number 6 BYU en route to that finals appearance for the Cardinal as Rotman gets it back out of the break.
And Rotman taking pace off on that swing, just going for the smart shot to the floor.
Rotman, the clear leader on the offensive end for the Cardinal today with 5 kills. Float serve handled by Glenn. Backdoor, it's Bruining who elevates, but they can't punch it over.
And Will Rotman there with the solo block, and Rotman skying. Looks like his beach volleyball during the summer is paying off with that vertical.
They went right back to Bruining on that play. Then through the seam, it'll be Lamp again.
And that's a ball that the Gauchos defense must pick up. It's a smart swing, but definitely diggable. And these are the plays where the Cardinal will start to gain their momentum.
It's another scoring run for the Cardinal, a 3-0 scoring run. Bianchi tries to end the stretch. Litsky played to the middle. Aruya there for the solo to send it back. Rotman then into hands. The Gaucho 2 freshmen build the wall.
And Bruining gets one back on Rotman. And they will will be a serving substitution, but another look here. Bruning doing a great job at pressing early, sealing that net, and Sam Collins to check in.
Those are the first blocks that'll be credited to any Gaucho today. 9 assisted blocks for the Cardinal, 2 solo already. Straight into the heart of play, Rotman gets it right back.
And Rotman does such a good job at changing up his offense. That time, the set a little bit quicker, and he uses that tempo to throw it down to the floor.
Nathan Litsky, ball in hand. Litsky with a game-high 8 serves after he laced that one to Collins. Oh, man, there was smoke coming off of that ball from Arroyo.
And it started with the dime pass from Sam Collins. Look at Arroyo up big. That connection is getting so good.
Now Arroyo looking to prove himself at the end line. A member of the boys U19 national team. Might have been bailed out as Collins got a piece of that one that was maybe going a bit long.
And that was Nathaniel Gates, who remains errorless. 4 kills on 4 attempts, hitting 1,000.
It's an ace for Will Rotman.
And there's the big arm of Rotman. He puts just a little bit more power than anyone else on the floor.
Rotman last year, a second-team All-American selection, a first-team selection back in 2022. Nearly had another one if it weren't for Collins, who scooped it up high. Then Rotman falls short into the net.
And a tough changeup on the serve from Will Rotman, but the Gauchos able to keep it alive. Another look at that swing into the net. And here's Jess Bianchi coming off the Offensive Player of the Week award.
Bianchi could not curl it fair. Nathaniel Gates, ball in hand. Gates has improved his hitting efficiency tremendously since his first couple of years. He hit 200 and 217 respectively as a freshman and sophomore. And then over the last 3 years, over 440 in each of those seasons and higher volume in each of those seasons as he continues to get better as a player. He's a huge piece of the Cardinals' success.
And it's so important to have a reliable middle blocker to open up your offense, and he has been phenomenal tonight.
Gates with an 800 hit percentage tonight. Came into tonight hitting .714 through the first 2 matches of the season. So he's certainly not shying away, and signs of improving, even more so than already those daunting numbers. Teo Snooey, ball in hand. And that's down.
And that's the 6th kill of the night for Jess Bianchi. He has 17 attempts, so the most attempts and kills for the Gauchos tonight, but hitting around 200.
Tied for a game high with Rotman. Each has 6 kills apiece. Bianchi with 1 more chance than Rotman. Lamp into hands. Another big block from Arroyo. He teams up with Walmer for this one.
And Walmer does such a good job at using sound technique on the block. Not the tallest player on the floor, but Arroyo and Walmer creating a nice wall.
Meister out, Jaden Glenn back in wearing that navy blue libero jersey for the Gauchos, and we're knotted up at 17 apiece. Set 1 was even at 18 before the Cardinal pulled away and took it 25-21. Kevin Lamp Jaden Glenn there on the serve receive. Smooth touch to set up the attack from Bianchi.
And that is a big swing from Bianchi in the back row. Look at where that swing goes, about the 10-foot line to that off-blocker defender.
Walmer will serve here. He's got a game-high 11 serves so far today, which means he's been at the heart of many runs at the service stripe. Oh, that's Rotman who climbs the ladder for a powerhouse swing.
Watch Will Rotman, but more importantly, watch that middle blocker tying in Aruya so that Rotman's one-on-one. So big props to the other offensive attackers as well as Litsky, really diversifying his speed of set and who he's going to.
Theron Briette at the end line. Back over to Rotman, who caught fingertips. It'll stay with the Gauchos. Glenn, Bianchi into hands for the Cardinal. It's a three-man wall, and at the middle of it, Nathaniel Gates.
And that's a tough swing for Bianchi. You see that ball has to travel all the way across his body as he's a left-handed player hitting on the left side. Tough to do with a three-person block.
So Briette will check out. Briette Moses Wagner spent time at Bellarmine College Prep up in San Jose together. Terrific during their high school days. Each teammates a couple of years ago. Rotman caught fingertips. It's played for Bianchi, a yellow light swing. He takes a little off it and tools it out wide.
And what an up there from Jaden Glenn. He popped it up with an open hand tip, and that provides the opportunity for a Bianchi kill. Started off with a tough serve from Collins.
I've been seriously impressed by the ball control from Glenn tonight.
Not only on serve reception, but defense. He has been solid all the way around.
That was Sam Collins for the serve. Walmer pops it up out of system, played to court. He steps into a yellow light cut near the net. Litsky pushes it over. Another play from Glenn to track it down, looking for Bianchi.
And that's going to be an overcall on Will Rotman, and you hear the crowd going crazy, whether they're for Stanford or the Gauchos, both fans fighting that call because Will Rotman saw the Gauchos net right when he went to attack the ball. So the question is, did the net come first or the over contact?
The chicken or the egg? Let's talk about Luke Turner, the 6'6" senior out of Hermosa Beach. He went to Loyola Chicago, just played his former team twice to open up this.
Who sparked this little comeback late in the second set. The Gauchos with a 2-point lead.
Tight play at the net, joust won by Court and the Gauchos, but did he catch the net? Sure did. It'll go back to the Cardinal here.
And Ben Court wants that one back, an overpass, and he made the right decision, just got caught in the net.
Both sides showing off the strength on that joust. It ends up going back to Litsky. A diving stab from Collins, played back, and Bianchi punches it over with the left. Jaden Glenn couldn't get enough under that ball, and we're even at 21 apiece.
And a great effort there from Glenn. Look at this throwdown from Rotman, right in the middle of the court where no one is.
Got us scrunching our noses back here. That's a heads-up play from Rotman. He's got 7 kills.
And a tight pass. Jack Walmer unable to dodge the net. And that's a tough serve from Litsky, and that's going to force the Gauchos. And last year for the Stanford Cardinal.
Nathan Litsky. Handled by Glenn. Walmer to the outside court, couldn't push it over, and it falls.
And that is an insane block from Teo Snui. Heads up play as he reads the tip from Ben Court.
Snui had a career-high hit percentage against the Gauchos last year. A year ago tomorrow. And the ace in crunch time from Litsky. Huge play by the Cardinal.
And Litsky serving like he has no fear of missing. I love that aggression, especially when the pressure is on at the end of a set.
Set point again. Stanford a point away from taking it. Court tracks for it. And Bianchi over high hands. Here come the Cardinal. Played to the middle. Out of system. Glenn looks for Bianchi. Left-handed cut. Sliced down the line.
And what about that tempo set from libero Jaden Glenn? It looked like they were in system there. He goes a little fast out to Bianchi. And it allows Bianchi to beat the block on that swing.
Dominic Lang with the ball. Overpass, can the Gauchos capitalize? Kept in system. Bianchi wide. And the Cardinal go up 2-0 over UC Santa Barbara. The Gauchos got to clean up the act to get over the hump.
And this is a must-win situation for the Gauchos, and they're looking to carry momentum back in as they face the Cardinal tomorrow night at 5 p.m.
We'll have all that action for you live then. Until then, it's a fun one here. UC Santa Barbara will not roll over. They have not been involved in a 3-set sweep over the last couple of matches. And the Cardinal, in search of their second sweep of the season, they won the first match of the year against Loyola Chicago in the minimum 3. Bianchi skies into hands, can't get one to go. It's Owen Berg into the match for the first time today, and he's stuffed at the net.
And another big block for number 16, Nathaniel Gates. Look at his press here as he travels to the pin.
So we'll see Nathan Litsky ball in hand. He finished off the first set handily, composed as ever. Walmer played to Arroyo.
And a good net violation called there on Arroyo. He hit the net as he swung through the ball.
The Gauchos needed a spark with a couple of new faces on the floor. We see Joe Wallace, Owen Berg, each in for UCSB. Arroyo tried for the power tip, couldn't get it to go. Rotman. It was pushed away, and Bianchi through the window. No breeze found. Snui and the Cardinal get another kill.
And it looks like another net violation called on the Gauchos. So trying to find their rhythm with a new lineup on the floor.
Additionally, it's Patrick Kane in for the first time today. Kane, a 6'4" sophomore out of Campbell, California. Kane there on the serve receive. Right back to Bianchi, back row attack. Kane handles to bump high. Bianchi pushes it close to the net. Berg able to tool it out wide. That's a smart play from Owen Berg.
And some new faces on the floor. They're finding their rhythm still after sitting on the bench. But I love that smart play from Owen Bergen. He had a huge impact last year when he got the nod on the floor, and he's going to use that going into this season.
Berg, an all-freshman team selection in the Big West, utilizes the flick of the wrist to get the Gauchos on the board in the third. And they attack Joe Wallace, who just can't pop it high. It looks like the Cardinal have kicked it into second gear.
And Will Rotman skying above the block on that play.
Wallace on the serve receive. Here's Arroyo.
And credit to the perfect pass from Wallace. That's what you need to get Aruya involved.
Berg floats it over. Berg lays out for it, full extension, bumped on over from Walmer. Played to the middle, and it's Gates who negates the great play from Owen Berg.
And Gates with his 5th kill on the night.
A .555 hit percentage for Nathaniel Gates on 9 chances, no errors. Arroyo kisses the line, just sneaks it on in.
And Aruya becoming that go-to hitter for the Gauchos. That's his 5th kill.
I believe it's his 3rd in this set as well.
And has the highest hitting percentage for the Gauchos, so really coming alive here.
Kane has to punch it through, and does.
And Kane finding a way, and for just coming onto the floor for the Gauchos, Kane looks very composed out there. Another look at that push over from Kane.
Already a key contributor from Kane. Arroyo a bit long, and it goes back to the Cardinal here. For Kane, these are his first minutes of the season. Let me double check. I believe they're his first collegiate minutes in general. There he is on a stripe down the line, picked up on a rainbow cut well. Kane steps into another one. He just got fingertips. Here come the Cardinal. Into hands, it goes on down. Kevin Lamp with nowhere to go with it.
What a fun play. Watch Kane sneak in here on that 3-person block, and his seal of hands for the wall.
Kane early on in the 3rd set proving why he's on the floor as Bianchi to the end line will punch this one on over the tape. Another good block from Walmer. Back to the Cardinal. Lamp, Walmer caught it. Kane punched up high. It's Wallace who gets it over. And Rotman puts it away again.
And Rotman almost saying there, oh, that defense is cute. But let me put some heat on it. But great defense from the Gauchos. The connection right now between Wallace and Kane adding a ton of ball control to the floor.
Kevin Lamp into the net for the Cardinal. Gauchos get it back with Kane at the service line. Kane targeting Lamp, played in system.
And that's Teo Snooey with the kill, the opposite player coming out of the back row.
Snooey last year named to the U21 World Championship team, which competed in Manama and Bahrain. There's Bianchi who answers on back.
And a great set from Walmer. He goes quick back set to Bianchi. And Bianchi leading the Gauchos with 10 kills now.
Meister with the ace. For Sam Meister, it's his 2nd of the year.
And that's just the 3rd ace of the night for the Gauchos compared to 5 aces for Stanford.
Meister earns the overpass, but it's pushed back on the side of the Cardinal as Rotman steps into one. Kane there for the dig, and then Walmer throws it down with the left.
And that's a huge momentum play. Look at this read from Kane. He's sitting in the deep cross court, and Walmer with the attack.
Sam Meister catching some fire from the end line, looking to keep it rolling here. It's a 3-0 run for the Gauchos. Laced up, picked up by Will Rotman, popped up high. It's Walmer who steps into one. That's Luke Turner, punched back. Patrick Kane with such a great dig. Then Bianchi over high hands. Here come the Gauchos, kept in system. It's Josh Arroyo who erupts the crowd in Robb Gymnasium.
And a full team effort. There are some beachy plays from Jack Walmer to keep the ball alive, but it's Arroyo to put it down. And Robb Gym.
How about Patrick Kane? His first minutes, I believe, in collegiate volleyball in general.
And he looks so smooth out there.
Rotman steps into it, targeting Kane on the back row.
And that is such a hard swing to make. A high ball set with 3 blockers in front of you. Will Rotman making it look easy, just going right above them down to the floor.
Now Litsky with it. Litsky has the most serves tonight with 16, 3 of which have resulted in aces. Handled by Kane, right back to the pick. It's a bit long, but it looks like it caught hands. We'll see what the call goes.
And that swing looked in, but we have a challenge from UCSB. That ball moving so fast, it was hard to tell if it got the line, and they will take a minute to review.
Remember, every challenge results in a 2-point swing if it's overturned. And it's so tough from all the way across the court to see it. But Rick McLaughlin's support staff, his assistant coaches, Blaine Nielsen, Jonas Safe, Randy DeWeese, they all said, hey, let's take another look at it. What do we have to lose, right? Third set of action here. It would be the difference of a tie game where the Gauchos up 11-9. Neither team hitting over 200 for the match. It's been defense on display.
And how about the defense from setter Nathan Litsky, leading all players with 9 digs. And he's only in the back row for 3 rotations, so an impressive stat line from him.
Not to mention, he's leading with 9 digs. He's also leading with 4 assisted blocks. That's a game high as well. Litsky has lit it up all across the stat sheet, and no wonder why he was earning MPSF all-conference honors since his freshman season. That one is in. It's the second missed call by that line official today in crucial moments.
And that's the second kill of the night for Patrick Kane on 4 attempts, so hitting 500.
UC Santa Barbara remains in possession with Walmer at the end line, up 11-9. They have to win the third set to continue on against the Cardinal tonight. Back to the outside. It's a smooth tool from Snooey. Cardinal earned possession back.
And Snooey 6'8" going up big and tooling Jess Bianchi. Here's Will Rotman, the 5th year out of Santa Barbara.
Rotman floats it over, attacking Bird, bumped up from Walmer. Bird steps into one. He'll find the pocket.
And Berg soaring on that play. I love his timing. It's a little bit different than most attackers, so he's able to find that tool kill.
Berg has flashed brilliance, especially last year during his freshman season, in which he was just shy of 4 kills per set over 11 matches. Snooey with a smart tool to take it back.
And Snooey just pushing off hands on that play.
And the 11th match of the season last year, Berg looked like he was the highlight of the season for the Gauchos, but he suffered a season-ending injury against UC Irvine on March 16th. Now he comes back. You have to imagine he'll play a key factor for this Gaucho team. As Wallace plays it out of system for Bianchi.
And Bianchi looking for a touch on that play, saying that he heard it.
Yeah, pressing his right ear, but it looks like Rick McLaughlin will let the chalk run. 12 apiece. Stanford with the ball. It's Nathaniel Gates, ball in hand. Gates with the ace.
And that's a tough float serve. That ball coming down at a sharp angle. And the passing line for the Gauchos want to take a float serve with their hands. So it's crucial if they're forced to use their platform.
Back over to Kane, who cocks back and fires home the hammer.
And Patrick Kane giving me glimpses of Ryan Wilcox. He's coming up, getting into the air fast and has a very whippy arm on that outside position.
Moments ago, by the way, that ace from Nathaniel Gates is his first of the season. Arroyo there on the serve, handled by Rotman. Back to the outside, Lamp gets the kill.
And it started with a great pass from Will Rotman.
Teo Snooey. Last year was second on Stanford with over 2.5 kills per set. That time long on the serve. Even at 14, this will be a dogfight to the end. I can feel it in my bones. Bianchi, ball in hand. Misdirection from Litsky. He caught them all on their heels.
And what a hide there from Litsky, and I love that he points back to Rotman, credits him with that perfect pass.
Kevin Lamp comes into tonight tied with a team-high 4 aces. (15-15). Here's Patrick Kane. A full house here in Robb Gymnasium. Kane spins it over, attacking Lamp on the back row. That's picked up by Wallace. Cardinal keep it in system. Back over to Rotman. He caught hands and it falls.
Such a smooth play from Stanford. Look at this pass from Turner, and then the quick set to the outside. Rotman with the kill.
We haven't seen Moses Wagner in this set quite yet. It would be the first set he hasn't played this season for the Cardinal. Bianchi elevates and executes.
With authority, Bianchi soaring from the back row. And the passing for the Gauchos has really steadied out with Patrick Kane and Joe Wallace. The perfect dime here from Kane.
Sam Meister back to the end line. Last time he was back there, he had an ace. Handled well by Luke Turner to set up the attack from Rotman. He tries again. Kane pops it up. It's Berg who steps into it. That's swiped out.
And a tight set. Will Rotman so smart on that one, not going in to get the hard kill, instead just swiping off hands, using that block.
Rotman with a season-high 20 kills. Just last match against Loyola Chicago. Has 13 now through 2.5 sets against the Gauchos tonight. As Arroyo just got under that ball, it's popped on over. Gauchos keep it in system. Kane fires another one. That falls.
And Patrick Kane is everywhere. Look at this back set from Walmer. I love that decision to get Kane a channel, an open channel from the back row.
Talk about a player bursting onto the scene. Patrick Kane making his name known for the Gauchos this evening. 17-17, Walmer. Walmer spins it to earn the over, kept alive in system, played to the outside. It's Berg.
And that's a net violation on the Cardinals. So the Gauchos taking the lead 18-17 in close action through this entire third set.
Story of the night. The second set was knotted up at 18 apiece. The first set was knotted up at 18 apiece. Jack Walmer and the Gauchos up 18-17 in the third. Rotman trying to tie things here with Wallace, who punches under it. Aruya had the chance to put one away. Now it's Berg.
And Will Rotman calling to John Kosky to challenge that play. And it was in the middle of the play when Rotman was talking to the up referee. And I believe the challenge will be on a net. There was enough solid evidence to overturn no call. They would have had to seen a significant net in that play, and it wasn't seen.
Let's walk you back to January 5th. UC Santa Barbara fell behind 2 sets to George Mason, pulled out a reverse sweep against the number 20 team in the country. Gauchos need to earn the third set to have a chance at repeating that here. It's a diving stab from Bianchi, but he won't get to it in time. However, Ulibarri, the down referee, makes the executive decision. It gives the point to the Gauchos. Katie, walk me through it.
And Will Rotman is angry at these calls. They're calling an under violation, I believe, on him on the attack. So a couple of calls not going his way in his hometown.
And Katie, we were at that game against George Mason. The key, body language. A couple of calls did not go in favor of the George Mason Patriots. Gauchos remained composed and were able to pull out a reverse sweep.
A tough serve from Jack Walmer.
Snooey trying to attack Wallace, the freshman, dug up low for the yo-yo. And the Gauchos take another after Lamp can't get it over the top of the tape.
So the Gauchos staying strong, as you mentioned, Max, through a couple of interesting calls, and now they're leading by 4.
And will continue on this 5-0 run for UC Santa Barbara. Cardinal with that timeout from 17th year head coach John Kosky as they look to quiet Walmer. Walmer spins it over to Rotman, played back, and it's Nathaniel Gates who ends the scoring streak.
And that's such a great decision to go to Gates, who's hitting around 500, has been phenomenal, so efficient and reliable tonight.
Any chance he can get Gates the ball, he looks to slow things down so well as Kane handles on the serve receive, playing a smart brand of volleyball. It's punched over the top from Bianchi. Snooey,
and
just
Snooey
a bit outside, Katie.
Way off the net on that ball, so a tough angle for him. And Ben Court is going to sub in to serve for Owen Berg.
It's the first time we've seen Court in this third set. Court, who has played 12 of 13 sets coming into tonight for UC Santa Barbara. Two Cardinal make a stab at it again. It's Nathaniel Gates.
And a perfect pass from Turner allows Stanford to use that middle attack and get the ball to Gates.
Owen Berg back on the floor for the short stint for Court. Here's Theron Briette. Briette, the 6'3" sophomore out of San Jose.
And that's the third service error for Bruyette. And an untimely one for the Cardinal.
15th service error of the evening for the Cardinal. Gauchos will send Dominic Lang into the end line. This will be the third serve of the night for Lang, all of which cold off the bench.
And Lang goes into the net. So Stanford still alive. The Gauchos with a comfortable 3-point lead.
Here's Teo Snooey.
And Snooey misses into the net. So the Gauchos with set point after back-to-back-to-back service errors.
Bianchi at the service line, looking to put away the first set of the night for the Gauchos. Just Bianchi kisses the tape and earns the ace. We're headed to 4 in Robb Gymnasium. Number 8 Stanford handles the first 2 sets over the Gauchos, while Nether on his offense in his second year, running the charge for setter. Walmer rifles it over, handled in system, and they play it into Berg's hands. The Gauchos pick up right where they left off.
And Owen Berg has also provided a spark tonight, starting just in that third set. But it's the steady serving from Jack Walmer. That was his 21st service attempt, almost double of any other Gaucho player, and that means he is on the end line the most, hammering out tough serves.
Joust won by UCSB. Katie, that's a great point, as Walmer has played such a crucial role. Kept in system after the dig from Kane, but there's the block from Rotman and Gates.
And the key for Stanford is to maintain that steadiness. They lost composure a little bit after 2 calls that didn't go their way, and it led to a different end of the set than we've seen from them.
Now Nathan Litsky in control. Berg low for it to set up the attack for Bianchi, tooled out wide, and the Gauchos get it back.
And that time, Gates attempting to swap block that slow shot, but Bianchi outsmarting him a little bit, using that late block.
Here's Berg, who floats it over. That's a nice play from Gates again, so efficient today. He is now 8 of 14. No errors from Gates. Coming into tonight again, hitting .714 on the season. He continues on that high efficiency play.
And Will Rotman missing long, missed the meat of his hand on that contact. And here's Josh Aruya, one of the standout freshmen for the Gauchos. He has been phenomenal in his efficiency tonight on the attack.
So Aruya with a tough serve there that puts the ball back with Stanford. Here's something interesting, Katie. So we talked about the homecoming for Luke Turner and Loyola Chicago, the 2 matches against Loyola Chicago that Stanford wins to open up the season. The 2 matches here for Will Rotman, his homecoming as a Santa Barbara native. Then you mentioned Nathan Litsky, an Austin native. Where does Stanford head next? They'll play Penn State and Ball State in Austin, Texas. They continue to head to the hometowns of these teams, or the former teams of these players. And I think it's a scheduling factor that lights a fire under the roster of Stanford.
Absolutely, very smart coaching call by John Costi.
Almost like he's taking his team on tour to their hometowns.
And that's going to create such a good culture to pay respect to those veteran players who have given so much to their programs and foster a little hometown pride as well.
Picked up by Berg. Kane taps the antenna.
And Kane doing a little too much on that one. He goes off pace crossbody, but nicks the antenna.
That's the first attacking error of the day for Kane, who's now 5 of 8 on total chances. Cardinal up by 1. Teo Snooey into the net. Patrick Kane.
Perfect pass from Turner.
Wallace able to get under it, but Meister can't pop it high.
And that's a good play from Kevin Lamp. He goes up like he's gonna block the overdig, but it doesn't clear the net after a great swing.
Nice replay look from our team here in Santa Barbara, as it's Kevin Lamp with the ball in hand. Joe Wallace with a perfect pass to set up Walmer to Bianchi, another tool out wide.
And Bianchi doing a great job tonight at making those smart swings off hands.
Meister has it here. Kane can't dig it on the back row. It goes right back to the Cardinal. It'll be Ethan Hill with the serve here.
And a solid swing on that play from Hill. The set a little bit low. He's a transfer from UCLA. And he soars that ball long.
Walmer back at the heart of this service rotation. Nice job from Bianchi. Yellow light swing, off hands and down.
And Bianchi again takes a little bit off, finds the seam. Such a smart swing here from Bianchi.
Still a pretty packed house here at Robb Gymnasium. Sure, a couple of folks have shuffled out, but aside from that, especially on the side of the camera that you can't see.
And a really nice play from Litsky. He's able to draw the over contact call on the Gauchos.
Nathan Litsky on the serve.
And it looks like that ball hits the antenna first, then goes into the block, so point to the Cardinal.
Straight denied on the play as well. Berg really had nowhere to go with that ball.
And it looks like there will be a challenge on that play. And my guess would be the challenge.
The scoreboard here reads 9-8 Gauchos. We'll make sure that we get the score correct for you in just a moment. Wallace, Berg tries to track back for it, just runs out of room. It's 9-9, 9 apiece.
And a solid high swing from Will Rotman. Joe Wallace doing a great job at scoop defense, which means he's not always getting his platform all the way formed. He's just using both arms as scoop devices, and it's working.
It's another service error for the Cardinal. That's the 20th of the evening, just 12 for the Gauchos. UC Santa Barbara playing the strategy of getting the ball in and letting your defense do the work. popped up from Walmer. It's out of system. Bianchi. Litsky looking for Lamp. He's into hands. Bianchi elevates for it. That time over hands. A float of a touch. Bianchi cocks back with the left-handed strike that doesn't go. Snooey couldn't get one down. They try for Lamp again. Kane was there with Berg. Who's gonna finish this point on a great rally? It's Patrick Kane over the top. He throws it down.
And the Gaucho bench going crazy in the middle of that play. Take another look here as Patrick Kane elevates and does the throwdown. But the Gauchos so stoked about the out-of-system setting from Aruya, stepping in and setting the sauce.
Laser beam set and a great adjustment from the Cardinal. Bianchi might have had the tool right there.
Owenberg deciding to play that ball. It may have landed in. But
wanted to play it safe. It goes back to the Cardinal regardless.
And
Number 8 Stanford down by 1. Katie, go ahead.
Having some misconnections on the set to hitter, some low sets, so they're a little out of rhythm here in this fourth.
Kane with the tool out wide. His first collegiate action. He's got 7 over 2 sets so far. Not to mention 5 digs from Patrick Kane as well on the defensive side of the ball.
And that's just in a set and a half.
Bianchi jump top spin serve, a laser beam at that. It's Lamp over high hands as Bianchi reaches back for it. Walmer tracks to the ball to set up Kane, who steps into a marshmallow swing. Overpass. It's Berg who pops it high. Bianchi is denied. Kevin Lamp and Ethan Hill for the Stanford Cardinal.
And this is good volleyball. Both sides sticking it through tough rallies. And the Stanford block coming alive. We saw that as a big difference between these two teams early on in set 1 and set 2.
Sam Meister to answer back. He hangs and bangs.
And that's just the second kill of the night for Sam Meister on 3 attempts. And Patrick Kane giving it a little too much power, missing in the net.
Kevin Lamp with 5 service errors today. That time he floats it over, picked up by Wallace. They look back for Bianchi. Lamp digs it high. Tight play at the net, and Rotman does everything he can to spin it out wide.
And that's an incredible adjustment from Will Rotman. It looked like that set was going over the net. He's somehow able to get to the ball and limbo the net for the kill.
Great job by the former AVCA first-team All-American who leads the Cardinal with 15 kills tonight. It's the 6th service error of the evening for Kevin Lamp. He had 6 over the first 2 matches of the season. Matched up tonight, that similar total, as the Gauchos are up by just a crumb, roughly halfway through the 4th set of action. Sam Meister. In comes Theron Briette. Bianchi.
And Bianchi finding the seam in the Stanford block from the back row. That's been hard to do tonight.
Best Bianchi doing everything he can to will his team forward through the fourth. He's got 15 kills as well, both him and Rotman. Rotman on 7 less chances than Bianchi tonight. Rotman in search of his 16th, picked up by Wallace, back to Bianchi, hitting from outside the lines. He's denied by Rotman again alongside Nathaniel Gates.
And another look, watch Rotman's hands. He's so high over the net there. It's a perfectly formed block.
Nathan Litsky, ball in hand. A diving stab from Owen Berg. Walmer sets it up. It stays with the Gauchos here. Another chance from Bianchi. This time he paints it inside the line, straight to the corner and down.
Wow, what a swing from Bianchi with his left hand on the left side of the court, and he goes all angle to paint that back corner.
How about an adjustment of a look? First one, marshmallow. Second one, fastball, straight to the corner.
Bianchi has been so good tonight at those change-up plays.
Litsky, back to Rotman, long. Rotman can't believe his eyes. Rotman's got a little Matthew McConaughey in him too, I'll tell you that much. Hey, I would say maybe them and GCU, so I want to give GCU its credit. GCU number 7 when they beat the Gauchos in 4 as Owen Berg strikes down. Now GCU ranked 6 in the country, number 6 in the country. But UC Santa Barbara came into tonight with a different group on the floor. It just wasn't working. And great adjustments by Coach Rick McLaughlin, really smart adjustments by the head coach to bring this group in, to bring a new surge for the Gaucho life. Owen Berg does it again. He's taken matters into his own hands. Big Berg skies through the air and throws down the right-handed hammer.
Look at that vertical from Berg, and what about his float serves, really putting the pressure.
To the coaching role this time after such a storied career as a player with the Gauchos. Out of the break, it'll be Moses Wagner back on the floor and immediately back into the action.
And that's a good change-up for John Costi. You saw it work for the Gauchos, just a different look. Give your team something else to rally behind.
A dive from Wallace, it's an overpass handled by Wagner. The pick back to Rotman, he fires a fastball down.
And it started with that change-up serve, a short serve that forced an overpass, and then you see Rotman skying from the back row.
Rotman spins it over. Patrick Kane, a delivery from Wagner. Nobody's home.
And Wagner up solo here. Watch him get all the way out to the pin and seal. There's just nowhere to go. And that's going to be a timeout for the Gauchos as they lead by just one. Tight action.
Here, Cardinal have Will Rotman at the end line, ball in hand. He'll trigger the offense. Rotman on his 15th serve today goes well long, and the Gauchos with a well-timed timeout to earn possession back. It'll be Dominic Lang at the controls. Moses Wagner again back within one. The Cardinal come.
And what a swing from Wagner. I love that teamwork from him. He's coming in cold off the bench, and he knows his role. He knows he needs to provide that spark for Stanford, and he's doing just that.
Ryan DeRoss, handled by Wallace, kept smoothly in system. It's Bianchi over high hands, kept alive. A chance for Lamp, way too long. But the Stanford side is calling for a touch.
And confidently, every player is saying they heard the touch, calling for that challenge. And
This
that
would
was
be
a high swing from Kevin Lamp, and and it looks like a good mentality on the floor for Stanford.
Now, I'm going to make sure I have a correct ruling for you after this set if we do go to 5, because in women's volleyball, you're earned one more challenge if you go to that 5th set. Patrick Kane kept alive. It's punched over by Meister. Rotman into the chest of Bianchi. Kane, hands bound, popped up. Rotman has to track back and bump it free. That's wide.
And a good scramble play. Unfortunate ending there on that bump going long, but the Gauchos doing a great job at just making it difficult for the Cardinal here. And John Costi is having a talk with the referee. They have been unhappy at the calls later on in these sets.
You can see the body language of the Cardinal has shifted as the momentum has swung. Just Bianchi, ball in hand. Bianchi lasers one for an ace. Fired up, he speaks a couple of bars and then heads back to the service line as the number 14 Gauchos up by 4 in the 4th, looking to finish off this set and send it to a 5th and final.
And the Gauchos doing a great job at just keeping their foot on the gas pedal through all of these calls. They are staying aggressive.
Cardinal with a much needed side out have Moses Wagner at the end line. The former high school All-American comes into tonight with 2 aces. Tries to attack Berg, kept in system. Meister the Mastro nearly put it away, but Wagner frees it over. It's Rotman, yellow light cut, that's down. And immediately it'll be Rick McLaughlin to the challenge card. Tom Ulibarri will have another decision to make.
And a great change up on that shot from Rotman. And it is unclear if that challenge will be had.
Now up referee Stephanie Macias, having chats with the line judges in Jeff First and Mark Arthur. Good shot we have here. Any lip readers in the audience? Katie Gauchos up 23-21 after a big point from the Cardinal there. That kill from Will Rotman falls. The Gauchos took a couple of stabs at it on the defensive side. UCSB earns the point. I don't have an explanation up here. Katie, your thoughts?
When the overpass clears the net, it needs to travel around the antenna and come back the same way. So I believe it did not clear the antenna fully on either direction.
And with that, it should be
24-20.
That's
Gauchos
correct.
with set point, looking to force a 5th after going down 0-2.
Gauchos have set point, and 5 of them at that. 4 of them, if you will. So it's Patrick Kane looking to force a fifth and final. Here's Kane. Handled in system by Turner. Backdoor, they're looking for Wagner. He finds the window, and the Cardinal earn possession back to try and maintain pace in the fourth.
And Wagner is 3 for 3 after coming in the fourth set, and he has made an immediate and much needed impact for Stanford.
Handled by Kane, it's Bianchi. Rotman overhands.
And that's an insane play from Stanford. What about that dig from Litsky? His defense.
Today, 8 kills, 1 ace, 6 service errors. Gauchos remain with set point here. Lamb steps on the line, and we're headed to 5.
And Rob Gymnasium is on their feet, and they are going to call for captains to decide this 5th set.
Number 8 Stanford takes the first and the second. Number 4 Voke a reverse sweep here in the 5th set. Back on the floor for the Gauchos, it's Jack Walmer, who's flashed 23 serves today. That makes 24. Litsky keeps it in system. Rotman denied. Litsky right back to Rotman. It's thrown on down and a bit on wide as Stanford opens things up in the 5th with a 1-0 lead.
And Will Rotman playing with a lot of fire right now. He was not happy after a couple calls went against Stanford.
Floated over, handled by Berg. It's Arroyo, long.
And Arroyo looking to challenge. He's pretty sure there was a touch. And this, again, is going to be a big call, because if this one goes against Stanford and the challenge is successful, it could be more of a mental test for Stanford, how they're going to reset after all of these calls.
The difference between a 2-0 lead and a 1-1 set here. Maybe we can get another look at it here on the monitor as number 8 Stanford looks to hold off number 14 UCSB. Had enough? I can't imagine you have. These two teams meet tomorrow evening, 5 p.m. Hunter Shoemaker on the call with Katie Spieler. Katie, that'll be a fun one for you guys, as looks like these two squads are fairly evenly matched, and it was a pretty quick review from down referee Tom Ulibarri. UC Santa Barbara was on the challenge.
And this match is going the distance. Both coaches using their challenges consistently, and that challenge will be successful. So Josh Arroyo credited with the kill. He's going to get the touch. And John Costi not happy with the calls.
Katie, I don't know if I've seen a discrepancy in challenge decisions like I have tonight. That said, UC Santa Barbara has won virtually every challenge on either side, and we're even at 1. Wagner into high hands. Bianchi tight at the net, has to slice it over. Out of system for Rotman. Berg lays out for it, full extension. Kane, power tip, and the Gauchos.
And who other than Alex Rotman flying through the air. I didn't catch him in the starting lineup, but another Rotman bringing some more Santa Barbara magic to the floor. But
the Gauchos stopped playing on that play, Katie, yeah.
With that first contact. The Gauchos looking for a lift call after the Stanford blocker.
And I think it was a question of what the line official had called. Wow. How about a third team up in the mix? It's not just the Gauchos and the Cardinal, it's the officiating crew as well, playing a key role in the decision this evening. And UCSB earns another decision from the officiating crew. You have to imagine John Costi is absolutely irate at the calls that have gone against his team today. Flicked on back, and Kane with the denial.
And Patrick Kane with a solo block. John Costi again not happy here.
Kane is able. This young man has been terrific. Gauchos up 3-1, fifth set in search of the reverse broom. Rotman to quiet the crowd. It pinballs around as Kane bumps it through. Here's Litsky, kept alive. Rotman into the hands of Wallace. Joust at the net. Wallace picks it up again. And it'll be a net violation on the Gauchos.
Wallace all over the place, but Stanford getting the net violation call. And here's Litsky.
Litsky with his 22nd serve of the night already has 3 aces to his name. Popped up a rainbow look for Bianchi, well over high hands as it's picked up by Turner. Overpass, Bianchi puts it away.
And Bianchi going up aggressive on that overpass. He comes out on top, and here's Josh Aruya, who has switch between a jump float and a jump topspin. He'll go with the float. And a perfect pass from Alex Rotman.
Straight through the seam. Gauchos have it here. Bianchi elevates. It's a beautiful pickup on the defensive side for the Cardinal. Rotman on the yellow light swing. Another yellow light cut. Denial from Bianchi and Meister.
And Gauchos playing with such confidence out there. Stanford on the other.
Handled by Alex Rotman. Back over to Will Rotman. He opens the window and feels the breeze.
And Will Rotman with authority, and you see right after he gets that kill, he jogs to the end line. He wants to keep that momentum going for Stanford.
Rotman whistles one down. Cardinal back within a crumb.
And you can see his intention right now. He is behind the line going for the ace.
Flashes a float serve, picked up well. A couple of Gauchos there on the attack. Now it's back out to Alex Rotman. Popped up high. Owen Berg could not do anything with that ball with great effort, and we're even at 5.
And that vertical out of Alex Rotman was insane for one of his first swings of the match. A phenomenal new spark of energy again.
How about Rotman at the end line? A Santa Barbara native out of Santa Barbara High School. Kane takes a stab at it and gets it right back over the hands. Will Rotman yo-yos it high. Berg can't pop it up, and it's the Cardinal with a 6-5 lead in the 5th.
And that was Moses Wagner, who has really come alive in this 4th and 5th set for Stanford. He's been another great offensive weapon.
Another big one for the Cardinal.
And what a dig there from Luke Turner. And
flicked back to Wagner. Brilliance from Stanford. So many academic All-Americans on this Stanford squad. It's an ace for Will Rotman, and the Cardinal up 8-5.
And Will Rotman with 2 aces on his.
It's a 6-0 scoring stretch. A float serve targeting Collins, kept alive in system. Bianchi way too high over hands.
And that set a bit off the net for Bianchi. He misses long, so Will Rotman continues to serve.
The Gauchos got a grasp. Rotman off the stripe. Walmer kept in system. Kane power tips it down.
And Kane has not lost any momentum. He continues to be efficient on the attack.
Kane, 9 of 17, just 2 errors this evening, as that cuts a 7-0 scoring run for the Cardinal. Bianchi with the possession. A left-handed laser beam. And it's Meister the Mastro who throws it down again. Gauchos back within 2.
And a timeout called from John Costi.
Just when you think one of these teams is down, they prove they are not. Just Bianchi with a team-high 17 kills. Came into tonight leading the NCAA in kills per set. Bianchi flicks one over, tough one to handle. Alex Rotman tracks to it. Will Rotman bumps it over. Wallace keeps it alive in system. Walmer to Kane, the power tip will go.
And Patrick Kane with the changeup. Usually he's been going short on that power tip. This time puts it long, beats Litsky down the line.
Gauchos let it sail out, and 4 straight points for UCSB. We're even again, this time at 9.
And Jess Bianchi absolutely ripping his serve.
Beautiful feed. And Wagner can't do anything with a nice pass in system.
And momentum now in the hands of the Gauchos. It has flipped once again.
Bianchi takes a deep breath, extends his right arm, and spins the ball high for another serve to continue on this run. Wagner looking for redemption, finds the pocket, and gets it back for the Cardinal.
And Wagner with a good confident swing after a previous miss.
You gotta love the decision to go right back to Wagner and keep him confident late in the match. Ryan DeRoss. Misdirection from Wagner, 2 Gauchos there, and it'll stay with the Cardinal, up 11-10 in the 5th.
And DeRoss coming in to serve and doing a good job at getting that serve in. Hard to do when you're coming off the bench cold.
DeRoss with his 2nd service error of the day goes long to even things at 11. Patrick Kane, who has burst on the scene this evening for the Gauchos. Played to the middle, and it's out. Cardinal get it on back here.
And that's a big miss. The Gauchos now tied up at 12. Dominic Lang will check in, the serving specialist.
Lang, the Gauchos' Golden Eagle recipient last season. That means he had the best GPA on the team. Played to the middle, and it's another big kill, this time from Ethan Hill. Piece by piece, the Cardinal climb just 2 points away from earning their 15th.
And here's Alex Rotman, Santa Barbara native, big brother Will Rotman on the floor.
Arroyo with the equalizer, 13 even.
And back and forth we go. Arroyo has been that consistent killer out of the middle.
Blow for blow, Tyson and Holyfield, who will come out on top? It's Wagner with it here. Excuse me, Walmer. Will Rotman climbs the ladder and fires home a strike to earn set point for the Cardinal.
And look
Watch
at
it
that
again.
Rotman connection.
Theron Breett with the ball. Breett with 3 service errors today. Make it 4.
And that's a huge break for the Gauchos, and they will sub in George Bruning for Patrick Kane. And it looks like the strategy here is to provide a bigger block when the Gauchos are in control with their serve.
Bruning, who towers at 6'10", was such a dominant recruit come high school. He must have been like a giraffe on the opposite side of the net. Now he plays a key role late in the 5th against the Cardinal, as it's Collins who goes into the net with the service error.
And Patrick Kane coming back in, so he will continue attacking on that outside hitter position. And Stanford with another set point.
It's Nathan Litsky, ball in hand. Beautiful feed from Wallace. Arroyo kept alive. Could this be the dagger? Will Rotman finishes it off, and the Cardinal escape defeat on the road in Santa Barbara. Number 8 Stanford with the win over number 14 UCSB, despite a tremendous effort from the Gauchos.